everybody. This is Dean Martinson here at the pit in Pojoaque at the Van Lujan Gymnasium in Pojoaque. And tonight, the final game of the regular season for the Hilltopper boys and the Pojoaque boys. In fact, today ends up the season for all the boys. I do believe all the boys in the state. And tomorrow, it will be the girls. But at any rate, tomorrow afternoon or tomorrow, the Hilltopper girls will play. Tomorrow is the final game of the regular season, and of course, I think on Sunday they seed the team for the state tournament. They'll probably start next weekend with the actual state tournament and first round will be played. I understand it at the home of the higher seed. But now the situation here is that this was senior night, and they had 13 seniors on this team. Out of 15 players, they had 13 seniors, one junior and one sophomore, and that was it. So they had introduced each of the seniors and all the parents and then the cheerleaders and their parents. It didn't take too horribly long, and the PA announcer, Harry Montoya, he's absolutely very, very good, outstanding PA announcer. And he did a really good job of moving everything right along. So the situation here is we have 11 and a half minutes to go before we're going to get things started. Just want to come on the air and advise everybody what exactly what's going on. The junior varsity game finishes. Junior varsity, I think it's the score, but the junior varsity won that handily, and in doing so, the junior varsity is the district champion for junior varsity here in this year. They back in the old days when we were in the district of Las Vegas and House and Robertson, all pretty good district, about 17 in the district, and they used to have some awesome tournaments. And then what they would do is that when they had the championship game of the district, the preliminary game would be the varsity championship. So the teams would play at the school of the higher seed until the final night, and then they would go play at the school of the team that was actually in first place in varsity. And that was really, really a lot of fun. But I don't think they're going to do anything with that this year. But for I guess you can just say the bragging rights or whatever you want to call it, the Hilltopper boys won the district championship with a nice victory tonight over the Pojoaque Elks. And it wasn't, I don't think it was, well, I think it was kind of depending on what tonight's game was, but they put up enough points where the point differential, I think it came down to between Los Alamos and Taos, I do believe. And when they did all the point differentials and all that kind of stuff, the Hilltoppers won it by 2 points. So we have about 10 minutes to go, so we're going to take a little short break again, and then we'll come back in a few minutes and get this thing started. This is Gene Martinson along with Dean Martinson, and so we'll be back with Los Alamos High School boys basketball, brought to you by the Los Alamos Daily Post and Carol Clark. And so we want to thank Carol. Also thank Nate Lindback and John McHale for putting all this together. John and Nate, both photographers, they help out with the photography, and of course Nate takes care of all the IT stuff, and he does a fantastic job. So that's going to do it for us for now, and so we'll be back in just a little bit, and for the Hilltopper basketball versus the Pojoaque Elks.
Hi, everybody. Again, this is Gene Martinson back here at the pit in Pojoaque. And Gene Martinson, along with Dean Martinson, it's going to be our pleasure tonight to bring you this very, very important ball game between the Los Alamos High School Hilltoppers and the Pojoaque Elks. And this is a must-win for Los Alamos. Right now, they are tied with Taos for second place. They beat Taos in Los Alamos by 2, but then went down to Taos and ran into a real buzzsaw down there and lost that ball game 54-80. So they beat us by 26 in their gym, and we beat them by 2 in our gym. But by the same token, the Hilltoppers they played a really good game against Taos in Los Alamos, and they just couldn't bring anything together up there in Taos. But we had a pretty good lead on Taos, and then Taos just got hot at the end and closed it down, but we still won the ball game by 2. And so right now they're about ready to go with the starters and the starting lineups, but the Hilltoppers coming into the ball game, and off of that last ball game against Taos, which was and we'll have to see if they're going to be able to bounce back here tonight. And so this is the third game of the week for the Hilltoppers. And so anyway, right now, Harry Montoya, their excellent PA announcer here in Pojoaque, is going to be introducing the teams and the starters. I'm going to turn that duty over to Dean and let him bring you that. Now, wait a minute, we're going to national anthem, I guess, huh? So we'll have to wait until after the national anthem for that. But the okay, here we go, national anthem. So the national anthem, I love that as part of the pregame. I don't know, it's just a great part of high school sports. And anyway, we're going to have the starters, and do you want to take that over?
Starting tonight for the Hilltoppers, left-hand senior, number 3, Cooper Frank. Left-hand junior, number 4, Wesley Stanfield. A 6-foot sophomore.
Everybody on? Okay, we're set. Okay. Well, let's see. We got dropped out of our Zoom meeting, which is so the call somehow got dropped. We had a little trouble reconnecting. Right now, it's going to be I thought it was going to be a 2-1 ball game. 3 minutes gone here in this first quarter. Espanola Pojoaque has scored on a free throw. They went to the free throw line. They were 1 of 2. And right now it's a 1-point ball game, and we have 3 minutes to go. 3 minutes gone in this first quarter. And Dino Los Alamos has not scored. I thought that last time down they were going to score. That layup rolled around and finally laid off. But so right now we have Pojoaque on the attack with Diego Martinez standing out near the half-court circle. And they're trying to readjust everybody in position. So he's just waiting for everybody to get into a new position. But in the corner, they get it. There's a shot from the inside the three-point line. And that one by Lucas Archibek. And Archibek puts it in for 2, and that makes it a 3-1 ball game. A 3-0 ball game, actually. So the Los Alamos has gone 3.5 minutes without scoring. Comes over to Wesley Stanfield. He'll put up the 3. That's off. Elijah Ortiz with the rebound. Over in the corner they get it to Ryan Zeke. He starts to go to the hole. It's cut off. Gets it to Cooper Frank. Back to Ryan. Ryan's going to come across into the free throw circle. Hand it to Wesley Stanfield. Back to Ryan. Ryan has the ball stolen away from him momentarily. Boy, almost a steal that time by Andrew Garcia. But Ryan Zeke is able to hustle back and get that loose ball. Wesley Stanfield, top of the key. Harrison Frank, three-pointer. That's good. Yeah, this first quarter was kind of roaring by, but Los Alamos, they've had some good shots. They just haven't been dropping for them. And of course, that's been kind of the story of their season. But shot taken from the baseline on the right side by Pojoaque. That is off. Rebound comes down to Elijah Ortiz, over to Harrison Frank. He's going to put up another 3. And this one is going to hit the back of the iron, come off, and quickly down the floor comes Sean Aragon for Pojoaque. In the corner, once again, a 3-point shot, and this one good by Diego Martinez. So Diego Martinez, Dean, so there's nothing but 3s in this ball game so far. In the story of high school basketball. Now Wesley Stanfield trying to come up against that time Sean Aragon. Aragon is able to get out and get a hold of the loose and knock the ball away. And on Wesley trying to pick it up, loses it out of bounds. So it'll be inbounded by Pojoaque at mid-court, and they'll bring it in to Sean Aragon. So Aragon just dribbles over into the left wing, and now he's going to go to the right side. And so we're going to have a foul away from the ball, and this is going to go to Pojoaque. So, and that one's going to go underneath the basket. So a lot of jockeying down there, and Andrew Garcia picks up the personal, and that's his first. We don't have any heights on these players, but Andrew's a pretty tall boy. He's about, he's got a little over 6 feet. Ball now comes to Nico Garcia, who has checked in for Los Alamos. And Wesley Stanfield will go to the point for Los Alamos. Still on the dribble. Still going. Finally gets it to Harrison Frank. Frank comes across to the right side. To the left side to Nico Garcia. Harrison starts to go in, and they're going to call Harrison for a push-off, and that's a good call. Yeah, it was pretty obvious. Easy call for the official. 2 minutes to go. 6-3 ball game. We've had 3 3-pointers in this first quarter, and that's been it. Now we're going to have another 3-point attempt by Pojoaque, and this is an air ball. Ball's on the floor. Loose ball picked up by Wesley Stanfield. Stanfield coming up the floor for Los Alamos in a hurry. Finally pulls up. Now he's going to walk across the line into Hilltopper territory, over to Harrison Frank, over to Elijah Ortiz. Elijah, good 3-point shooter, and he cans it. So but Harrison, he just kind of dribbled over toward the wing and he drew some guys to him. Of course, every time he does that, he's going to draw players to him. And then he just dished it over to Elijah in the corner. So Pojoaque once again with the three. I think that's the only thing they've shot in this whole ballgame. Hilltoppers with a breakaway, and here comes Harrison Frank. And he lays it in for two, gives him 5 points. For a minute, I didn't know if it was going to make that. So I kind of hesitated because at first I thought looked like he might lay it over the front of the rim and a little give and go, and should have a traveling violation, but I think they're going to call Hilltoppers for a personal foul underneath, and this one might go to Elijah Ortiz. That's it. Now that's going to be Elijah's second personal, and a third team foul on Los Alamos. Common foul. Pojoaque will inbound it. Little 15-footer taken by the Elks. Hilltoppers rebound comes down to Sebi Wood. He has the ball stolen away from him. And they flip it right over. This time to Andrew Garcia, and the big kid, a wide open layup, and he doesn't put it up hard enough. So Nico Garcia brings it across for Los Alamos, the freshman. Gets it over to Sebi Wood on the right wing. Sebi on the dribble, trying to find somebody inside. Gets it to Wesley Stanfield all the way deep in the corner. So they bring it out on top to Harrison Frank. Frank being double teamed right now. He hands it over to Wesley Stanfield on the drive. And he's going to dish it back. Well, he was trying to dish it back to Nico Garcia, but it's knocked up the floor. Just batted up the floor that time by Derrick Sanchez. And Sanchez, all you have to do is catch up with it and then go lay it in. Shot taken by Los Alamos by Wesley Stanfield is off. Rebound comes down to Pojoaque. Long pass down the floor. We should have had it travel. Nothing called. And that will bring this quarter to an end as the all tied up, 8-8. Yeah, that's his second. For Los Alamos, they had 3 field goals. 2 of those were 3-pointers, and for Pojoaque, they also had 3 field goals. They made 1 3-pointer, and they were 1 for 1 from the free throw line. And Dino is going to look back here at let's see, the last time we played them up in Los Alamos. Let me see what they do with that. Well, I'll find that. And in that first game, it was a little more scoring than we saw in this first quarter, but Hilltoppers were up by 16-15. Harrison Franks is going to call for push off again. Whoa. Yeah, and the 4th team foul, a common foul. And so we're just underway here in the second quarter, and Harrison Frank now is on the bench for Los Alamos. And that is not what the Hilltoppers want, I guarantee you. So they're going to hand it over now to Zach Hall. Hall brings it out on top. He's going to dribble to the right wing, and then they're going to rotate it to the left wing. No, they're not. They're going to bring it back to just to the right of the key. 3-point shot taken. Rebound comes down to Wesley Stanfield. That shot taken by Derrick Sanchez. And Wesley Stanfield comes down for Los Alamos. Pulls up just to the right of the key, still on the dribble, backs out to the half-court circle. Comes over to Cameron Haig, who has checked into the ball game for Los Alamos. Nico Garcia making some great moves right down Broadway. Boy, some great ball handling by the freshman, Dino. So Nico will go to the free throw line. Drops in the first. And that gives Los Alamos a 1-point lead. 9-8. Second one good. That's exactly what they've been doing. It's one thing to trade baskets, but they've been, like Dean says, just completely mirroring themselves. Pass underneath is picked off by Los Alamos and then picked off again on their way as the Pojoaque stole it away, tried to get it over to Derrick Sanchez, and tried to get the Hilltoppers are trying to outlet it, and Derrick Sanchez is right there to pick it off, and now he's going to the free throw line, Dean, and try to put in their 2 free throws. It's his turn, and he does. First one by Derrick Sanchez, so he could tie the score. The Hilltoppers went up by 2 with the 2 free throws from Nico Garcia. And right now, Derrick Sanchez is trying to match Nico, and he does. Good call, Dino. All right. Ball is, I think, what are we going to have here? We're going to have a personal foul called against one of the Elks. And that one is going to go to Derrick Sanchez. That'll be his first. That's the 4th team foul. The Hilltoppers will inbound it. And 4 team fouls for each team. Cameron Haig inside to a wide open Mark Cleland, a 6'10" junior, misses a wide open layup. I mean, that should be like just dropping something into the wastebasket. Toby Gallegos picks up the personal. Picks up the basket. And now it's a 12-10 ball game. Pojoaque on top. Comes over to Cameron Haig. Haig will bring it to Nico Garcia. Nico loses the handle and ends up catching it, recovering by scooping it around his back. Puts up the shot. That's off. Pojoaque taking it to the hole. And we actually should have a personal foul, but they're not going to call it as Matt Gomez put up the shot. He saw that he missed it, so he followed it. And I mean, he really followed it. So Chevy Wood taking it to the hole for Los Alamos, makes a nice move as he got the ball on the left wing, and then he just kind of cut through traffic and lays it over the front of the rim. Nice move by Chevy. Makes it and so it's a 12-12 ball game right now, all tied up again. Lucas Archibek with it. In a corner, the shot up. Rebound is going to come down to Mark Cleland. Cleland is going to outlet it to Nico Garcia. Nico coming up the floor. He's going to makes a nice move, but right there is Cleland to get the rebound. Puts it back up, gets the rebound again. And so anyway, so shot up by Pojoaque, and Cameron Haig comes down with the rebound, and he was trying to draw the foul, and so he just literally threw the ball up in the air. The Hilltoppers get the rebound, but his shot by Cameron is off. But right there, getting great inside position is the freshman, Nico Garcia, and he goes back up, and he's fouled, and that personal foul is going to go to Lucas Archibek. That is his first, and that is the 5th team foul. And I think we're having some more audio problems here. I have no idea what the problem is. But anyway, Nico goes to the line. He's 3 for 3 from the free throw line right now. And I hope I didn't jinx him. 4:27 remaining here in this first half. Hilltoppers up 15-12 right now as Nico at the free throw line. And I did not jinx him, almost. Makes it 16-12, a 4-point lead for Los Alamos. And 4 points for Nico, all from the free throw line. In the corner, down low to Diego Martinez. A skip pass comes all the way across over to the right wing. They can't do anything with it, so they just flip it out over to Zach Hall. Hall coming right down Broadway, puts a shot up. It's off. And right there to get the rebound was Mark Cleland. Cleland gets it over to Wesley Stanfield. He'll bring it over now to Cooper Frank, who is checked back into the ballgame for Los Alamos. Cooper trying to find somebody to get it to. Finally gets it to Wesley. Stanfield on the dribble, and they're really putting a lot of pressure on Wesley. Wesley starts to go up. Boy, and he was immediately double teamed. He picked up his dribble, and they were all over him. Cooper Frank on the dribble. Brings it now to Nico Garcia in the corner. Hilltoppers are looking inside maybe to get it to Mark Cleland, but they're fronting him, and they're doing everything they can to deny that. Cooper Frank on the dribble in the corner comes to Nico. Nico's going to take it to the hole, put it up and in. Nice move by Nico Garcia, and the Hilltoppers go up by 6 here in this second quarter. That's the biggest lead of this ball game. And right now, I apologize. For some reason, I lost Dino. So I'm not sure where Dino went, but never have. My heavens, the booby. So anyway, okay. So the timeout taken now by the Elks. Well, we'll see if we can get this figured out at halftime. We have 3 minutes to go here in halftime, and see the Elks take I think it's a full timeout. It looks like so. But right now it's 18-12. The Hilltoppers up by 6 with 3:07 remaining here in the first quarter. And so which was right as they started things off with just trading points up to 12, and just trading 6-6, 8-8, and then finally it went to 12-12. But then since then, Los Alamos had 6 unanswered points, and now they lead by 18-12 here in this ball game. The first ball game was at Pojoaque. Was in Los Alamos turned out to be a very low scoring ball game. Los Alamos won at 46-45. They actually won at 48-45, but the real score should have been 46-45. I'll explain that at some point. Comes now to Sean Aragon. Aragon, the top of the key. He's going to bring it over on the right wing, back on top to Sean. They tried to lob it inside, and stolen away by Los Alamos. So good hustle that time by Nico Garcia, and I think Nico was. I think he got whacked in the nose. Oh, he lost his mask. Can't do that. Surprised they don't give him a technical foul for not wearing a mask. So Nico will bring it up for Los Alamos and then get it over to Cooper Frank. Frank loses the dribble, is able to scoop it back up. Is trying to get it. That time was Toby Gallegos. Hilltopper is going to get it inside. Boy, and Wesley Stanfield, great move into the paint. Faked the shot, got the man in the air, and then he went up. And so Wesley picks up his first 2 points of the ball game, and the Hilltoppers go up by 8, 20-12. In the corner, Sean Aragon, they throw it into the backcourt. So backcourt violation. Now the officials are going to, Sean is saying that the ball got hit. The ball did not get hit. I can guarantee you that. Sean was telling the official it got hit by Los Alamos. So the officials confer, and the officials, they agree with me, of course. So the Hilltoppers inbounded and stolen away immediately by Pojoaque. Unbelievable. In the corner they go, and trying to come in. The shot is Diego Martinez. His shot is off. Mark Cleland going for the rebound, can't hang on, loses it out of bounds. No, it was knocked out of his hands. I'm sorry. Pojoaque, I don't know what's going on here, but everybody's down the court. Everybody's down under the Hilltopper basket. And now the officials bring everybody back and say, no, it's Pojoaque ball. So they're going to hand the ball to Sean Aragon under his own basket, baseline right, and he will get it in. A little short shot taken on a nice little coming around a screen on the right side of the lane, Matt Valdez, and he puts it in for his first 2 points, and then now cuts it now down to a 6-point ball game again, 20-14 with 1:40 to go. Nico Garcia gets a 15-footer by Nico. Boy, nice. He's got that little floater, and he just comes across as he comes up. He just kind of, he just floats it up, but the ball is almost at his waist when he starts his shot. But Nico having a very, very good ball game right now. Has 8 points in this ball game. Hilltoppers are up by 8. Pass comes over, 3-point shot on the way. This one is off, but right there to get the rebound. And that was Matt Valdez, and he decided to go right up against Mark Cleveland. Mark Cleveland just stood there flat-footed and blocked the shot. Hilltoppers come down with it. They get it over now to Nico Garcia on the dribble. He's going to bring it back to Cameron Haig. Haig over to Cooper Frank. Frank loses a handle, or was it knocked away from him? Let me see. Yeah, okay. We are in a deep, deep corner here in the gym because with all the social distancing and everything, there wasn't any room even in the middle of the court. Actually, we got a pretty good situation here. We're all the way in a corner up against the wall, but we can see pretty well. So Nico Garcia will take the ball from the official. Outside to Cooper Frank in the corner. And the skip pass comes across to Wesley Stanfield. He puts up the 3. That's good. Wesley Stanfield with the 3-pointer, and he now has 5 points. And the Hilltoppers go up by 11, 25-14. Ball stolen away. And they're going to get it up to Cooper Frank. Frank goes up, puts it in, and he'll go to the free throw line. Or they're going to say it was on the floor. I think they're going to say it was on the floor. No, bad call. So they got it over to Cooper, and Cooper put it in. Everybody's going to the free throw line, but the official says, nope, that was on the floor. And so they're going to bring it in, try to bring it in to Mark Cleveland. He's immediately double teamed and fronted. They don't throw it up high enough. That's been the problem all season long. They try to lob it into to Mark, and they just don't put enough elevation on it. Comes over to Wesley Stanfield as the Hilltoppers inbound it. Wesley pulls up his dribble. Now over to Cameron Haig underneath to Mark Cleveland. And again, the pass is low. Stolen away by Pojoaque. Pojoaque coming down on the other end. They get it inside. The shot is up and off by Matt Valdez. Hilltoppers with the rebound. Wesley Stanfield comes up and lays it in. So the Hilltoppers steal it away, and they get a 3-on-0 break. And leading that 3-on-0 break was Wesley Stanfield, and he lays it in. And Wesley now with 7 points in the ball game. And the Hilltoppers are up by 13. And we only have 6 seconds left in this contest right now. Pojoaque coming across the timeline. They're going to put up a 3 at the buzzer, and that's no good. So after a slow start in the first quarter, Hilltoppers only coming up with 8 points, 8-8 at the end of the first quarter. And right now it is 27-14 as the Hilltoppers come up in that ball game with 19 points, and only 6 for the Elks. So we're going to take a break here and see if we can't reestablish this audio situation. So we'll be back right now. It's 27-14. The Hilltoppers up over the Pojoaque Elks. So hasn't. He hasn't been on the whole game.
What?
Dino hasn't been on the whole game. We got a text from Kent.
You think it's hooked up here?
Replug him.
Could you hear him through the headset?
Nate? Yeah, I could hear Dino. No. I don't know. I'll talk Dino. Yeah, I can.
Okay, when he talks, the little light blinks. Dean talks, this little light blinks. Talk, talk, talk. Yes? Okay. Yeah. That one? Yeah.
I want to apologize again. People have been texting us telling us to can't hear Dean, and everything is working here at the pit in Pojoaque. All of our systems show that Dean is working just fine. But anyway, no matter how we try, we can't seem to get him over the air, or at least get him out of the gym, at least. So after one half of play, the Hilltoppers lead 27-14. They have a 13-point lead, and of course that's the biggest lead of the ball game. After one quarter, it was 8-8, and they were just literally trading baskets and trading free throws, actually, in a way. And then at 12-12, all of a sudden the Hilltoppers took off, and after they reached 12-12, the Hilltoppers then outscored them 15-2 to take a 27-14 lead, as the Hilltoppers came up with 19 points in that second quarter. And Nico Garcia really kind of leading the way for Los Alamos with some excellent ball handling and some excellent passing and moving, and some nice, great moves to the basket. Drew 2 fouls and went to the free throw line 4 times and canned all 4 of those. He has 8 points. And then Wesley Stanfield, who did not score in the first quarter, came on really strong in the second quarter, and he ended up with 8 points also. And then Harrison Frank, who had 5 points in the first quarter, picked up his second foul twice. He's been called for a push-off, and both calls have been right. and he's definitely pushing off with the forearm as he tries to get free. Sebi Wood picked up 2 for Los Alamos. So Harrison with two fouls sat out a good portion of the second quarter, and he ended up with 5 points. Elijah Ortiz had a really nice 3-pointer off of great assists that time from Harrison Frank. For Pojoaque, let's see, the leading scorer was Derrick Sanchez. He had 4, a field goal and 2 free throws, and then they kind of spread it around after that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They only had 5 players score. Diego Martinez had a 3-pointer to start things off for Pojoaque, and then Toby Gallegos had 2, and Matt Valdez had 2, and Lucas Archibek had 2. So they only came up with 6 points in that second quarter. They had 2 field goals, no 3-pointers. They were 2 for 2 from the free throw line. And so for the half, they had 5 field goals, 1 3-pointer, and they were 3 for 3 from the free throw line. So the Hilltoppers, let's see, in that second quarter, they came up with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 field goals, and 2 of those were 3-pointers, both by Wesley Stanfield, and then they were 4 of 4 from the free throw line. So the Hilltoppers right now with a 27-14 lead over the Pojoaque. So a very, very tight first quarter, but things opened up pretty well after that. There were 14 fouls called on Los Alamos, 2 of those belonging to Harrison Frank, and 5 team fouls called on the Pojoaque. Andrew Garcia, the only one. He also had 2 personal fouls. So nobody's in real foul trouble as long as they're careful. Harrison needs to be careful about pushing off. But anyway, so that's and tomorrow afternoon, everything will wrap up at the Griffith Gymnasium when the Hilltopper girls will be in action against the Elkettes from Pojoaque, and that's a Saturday afternoon ball game, 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and we'll be there to bring you that ball game. And final game of the season for Los Alamos, the final game of the regular season. See how this game works out here tonight, and see how the Hilltoppers fare through the seeding that's going to happen on Sunday with the NMAA. So we'll have to see how all that goes. And so I do believe, let's see, they start the second quarter, start the second half. If I read the scoreboard right, it's going to be Pojoaque's ball. And I think I'm reading the score. Yes, I am reading the scoreboard right. Pojoaque is they're green and white. Los Alamos is green and gold. Pojoaque's in their white uniforms and green numbers. The Hilltoppers are in their green uniforms with white numbers. So we start things off, and we get the ball over to Lucas Archibek. They're bring it inside, trying to make a move to the basket that time was Andrew Garcia. The ball got knocked away from him. Elijah Ortiz picks up the loose ball. They get it now to Harrison Frank, top of the key. Harrison goes to the left side. Over to Ryan Zeke, now to Elijah. Elijah back to Harrison over on the right wing underneath. Ryan Zeke out on top to Wesley Stanfield. Stanfield on the dribble in the free throw circle, still on the dribble. And finally brings it over to Elijah Ortiz, who's way out over on the right side. Picks up his dribble, and he's being forced out. Now Harrison Frank is pushed all the way back, and we're going to have a reach-in foul. Or are they going to call him again? So Harrison Frank once again, and he shoves his man, trying to make a move, and he puts his forearm in his gut and pushes him, and there's no question about it. And so that's his 3rd personal foul. And then wide open, coming down the lane, nobody picks him up, and that is Derrick Sanchez, and he just lays it in for 2. So makes it now 27-16. And Wesley Stanfield bringing it up, pressuring him is Sean Aragon. Aragon, they'll bring it over now to Wesley Stanfield. Stanfield underneath, tries to get it inside to Mark Cleland. The pass is low once again. I mean, he's 6'10". I don't understand why the Hilltoppers don't get the ball way up in the air. And now coming down on the other end, Derrick Sanchez cans a three. So that's 5 points for him in this quarter, 9 points altogether. And they cut that 13-point lead now down to 8, 27-19. 6:29 remaining here in this third quarter. But the 5 unanswered points for the Elks, and Harrison Frank on the bench once again with 3 personal fouls and 3 offensive fouls, and all for the same foul of pushing off against the defensive man. And they've been obvious fouls. They've been easy calls for the official. And I don't understand if Harrison, he picked up the 2 in the first half, so you would think that he would be careful about doing that again right off the bat in the third quarter. And we have 6.5 minutes to go here in the third quarter, and Harrison's back on the bench. So the Hilltoppers are going to inbound it under the Pojoaque basket. 1-2-2 3-quarter zone press being put up by Pojoaque. They're going to bring it to Nico Garcia. Garcia comes over to Wesley Stanfield, cross the timeline. Passes gets knocked away, picked up by Mark Cleland. He gets it over to Nico. Nico's going to hand it to Ryan Zeke. We're going to have a blocking foul, as trying to make a move that time was Cameron Haig, or Gavin Coy, and Gavin is fouled. And that personal foul will go to Derrick Sanchez. That's his second. That's the first team foul. Hilltoppers will inbound it. They get into Mark Cleland. Cleland goes up in the air, and then he tries to pass it across the lane to Nico Garcia, and he throws it right to Sean Aragon. And then Pojoaque comes down on the other end, and they get it to Derrick Sanchez, and he has 8 points in this quarter. He's got all the points in this quarter, and suddenly it's a 5-point ball game. And yes, and so they get the ball to Wesley Stanfield, and he gets double teamed over right by the midcourt, and then he gets shoved out of bounds. They literally pushed out of bounds, and they call him for being out of bounds. Ball comes inside this time to Andrew Garcia, and he picks up his first 2 points of the ball game. Suddenly, that 13-point lead is 3. Wesley Stanfield starts to go up, and can't. 3-point shot from outside by Gavin Coy. So Gavin Coy with a nice three-pointer from the left corner, and answering right back, Sean Aragon with the 3. Pojoaque coming out strong. We're going to have a foul. Let's see, away from the ball. This is going to go against Pojoaque, and let's see who's going to get that. That one is going to go to Andrew Garcia. That's going to be his third. That is the second team foul of this second half. Comes to Wesley Stanfield, passes up a good three-pointer. Comes to Nico Garcia on the right wing. He dribbles out to the top. Over now to Harrison Frank, who's checked back in for Los Alamos. 3-point shot taken from the left wing by Nico Garcia. And Nico puts it in for his 11th point. Back to his 6-point ball game. Coming down the baseline, and nobody stopping or picking him up. Derrick Sanchez just doing anything he wants out here on this court right now. Shot taken by Los Alamos is off. Rebound comes down to Andrew Garcia. He outlets it up the floor. 3-point shot, Derrick Sanchez. This time he misses it, knocked out of bounds by Matt Valdez of Pojoaque. Hilltoppers will inbound it under their own basket. And in the ball game right now for the Hilltoppers, we have Nico Garcia, Wesley Stanfield, Sebi Wood, Harrison Frank, and Elijah Ortiz. So in it comes to Wesley. Wesley, the 5'10 junior, at the point. We'll bring it to Nico Garcia, the freshman. Skip pass across, comes back to Wesley, over to Harrison Frank. And as the ball was just as it was coming to him, sticking out and getting a finger on it. That time was Matt Valdez, and it went off of his finger and then went off of Harrison's finger, out of bounds. 4-point lead for Los Alamos. They were up by 13 at the half, and it was closed down to 3. Now it's at 4, and it's going to be, I thought for a second it was going to be 2. But the shot is off by Pojoaque. Comes down now to Wesley Stanfield. Stanfield on the dribble, top of the key. 3:45 to go here in the third period. Hilltoppers up right now by 4. Nico Garcia goes to Harrison Frank in the corner. 3-point shot is off. Rebound is pulled down this time by Andrew Garcia. Quickly up the floor. Come Pojoaque. They put the shot up. It's off. Rebound comes down to Sebi Wood. Long pass up the floor comes to Nico Garcia. And Nico is fouled as he goes in. As the outlet pass went down the floor down the right side to Harrison Frank. He brought it across to the left side to Nico. Nico goes in for the shot. He's fouled. And that personal foul is going to go to Andrew Garcia. That's his 4th. And that is the 13th foul. And Nico is going to be at the free throw line, shoot 2 for Los Alamos. Puts in the first. He now has 12 points in the ball game. And he and Wesley Stanfield are the leading scorers right now, with Wesley have 16 points. And Nico at the free throw line. This one is good. So he now has 13 points in the ball game. It makes it a 6-point lead again for Los Alamos. So the Hilltoppers just came out and Pojoaque just came out hot as a pistol. Coming down the bench, Zach Hall should have been called for a charge, as he just put his shoulder down into Wesley Stanfield. And that's the same thing he did in Los Alamos. He was very physical and very aggressive in Los Alamos. Ball is almost thrown away. Pick up by Nico Garcia. Saves it from going out of bounds. Gets it to Sebi Wood. Wood starts to go in. Gets it to Elijah Ortiz. Ortiz on the dribble. Hands it over now to Wesley Stanfield. Stanfield comes over to Harrison Frank. The Hilltoppers now just moving it around the 3-point line. And now Wesley Stanfield going right down Broadway. Puts up a little floater. Comes off the back of the iron. And that's a shot that almost automatic for Wesley. And Zach Hall coming in once again. Shot from the corner. And that is good. And once again, this is Lucas Archibek. So Archibek closes it now to a 1-point ball game. I cannot believe we blew a 13-point lead. Nico Garcia with the 3-point shot is off. Rebound comes down to Sebi Wood. He gets it over to Wesley Stanfield. Stanfield on the right wing puts it in for 3. Hilltoppers go back up now by 4, 38-34. In the corner, 3-point shot. That's on the way. It's off, and the Hilltoppers going for the rebound. And they're going to say it's off of Los Alamos, and that's a good call. Minute 54 to go here in this third quarter. Hilltoppers up by 4, 38-34. We have some substitutions for the Hilltoppers right now. We have Cooper Frank, Wesley Stanfield, Nico Garcia, Harrison Frank, and Elijah Ortiz. Lucas Archibek takes it to the hole. His shot is off. Wesley Stanfield gets the rebound, and he'll bring it up for Los Alamos. And waiting for him is Lucas Archibek. So he's going to blow by Lucas momentarily. Now he makes a little turnaround spinner. Wow. Nice move. He came down the left side of the lane. Looked like he was going to take it all the way. He suddenly pulled up, and then he did a little spinner around and drops it in. So Wesley, the next shot is off by Pojoaque, picked up by Lucas Archibek. Archibek takes it to the hole and lays it in. He now has 6 points in the ball game. Wesley, at this point, well, I think I said he had 16. He actually had 8, and now he has 13. So he and Nico Garcia each tied with 13 points. 68 seconds to go here in the third quarter. A 2-point ball game, 40-36. The ball game in Los Alamos ended up 48-45. We're going to have a timeout taken, and it's going to be a 30-second timeout. And that was going to be taken by Pojoaque. So the Elks take a 30. So the Hilltoppers, who are up by 13, 27-14 at the end of the first half, saw that 13-point lead evaporate down to 1, and they have built it back up to 4. And right now it's 40-36 with 68 seconds remaining here in this third quarter. But Pojoaque, I mean, they've come out swinging. I mean, that's for sure. They scored 14 points total in the first half. And so right now here in this second, they put in 22 points already. And to Los Alamos of 13. So they pouring it on. They came out on fire. So the Hilltoppers are going to bring it in, and they bring it inside to, this is Cooper Frank. He puts a shot up. It's off. Cooper trying to get his own rebound. Can't get to it. Coming down the floor. Lucas Archibek. Archibek in the corner. Three-point shot in the corner. That's off. A great inside position for Pojoaque that time. And trying to put the putback that time was Derrick Sanchez. He had Lucas Archibek. Archibek had great inside position and ends up blowing the layup and then loses the ball out of bounds. 50 seconds to go. 4-point lead for Los Alamos. Ryan Zeke comes back into the ballgame for the Hilltoppers. Nico Garcia, Wesley Stanfield, Ryan, Elijah Ortiz, and Harrison Frank. Pass underneath is picked off by Pojoaque, and up the floor they come in a hurry. Over to Derrick Sanchez to Zach Hall. Hall still on the dribble, almost throws the ball away. Finally does throw the ball away, and now he's going to be tied up, and that will be Hilltopper ball. That ought to be against the rules. So anyway, so they get the timeout, and so it's a full timeout taken by Pojoaque. I think they only have 2 timeouts left. I'm not sure if they put that up on the scoreboard or not. Nope, they don't. They have this big, or all the way on the ceiling, right in the middle of the court. And I often wondered, like, it's good for us, but I often wondered how that is for the players. Of course, they do have the actual clock above the baskets, so that's the only thing they really need to see. So out of the timeout, after the Pojoaque forced to call the timeout, as they are going to they're going to lose the ball on the alternating possession, and so Zach Hall will take the ball from the official. 13 seniors on this Pojoaque team. Amazing. And only 2 underclassmen. They bring it outside on top to Lucas Archibek. Archibek will bring it to the left wing, to the right wing to Derrick Sanchez underneath to Zach Hall. Hall picks up his dribble again, and he's going to dish it off. Lucas Archibek puts up the shot. It's off. Great rebound underneath this time by Matt Gomez. His putback is off, but great rebound. Wesley Stanfield coming down. He's going to pull up 15-footer. That's off. And I think he's going to be fouled. No, that's going to end the quarter. So after 3 quarters, the Hilltoppers still lead 40-36, but they only put up 13 points in that quarter to 22 for the Elks. As the Elks just came out of that locker room, and for a while they just could not miss. And they were really putting the pressure on Los Alamos, and finally Los Alamos pulled themselves together and were able to stop the run. The run went from they were 13 ahead, and Pojoaque closed it all the way down to 1. So that ends 3 quarters here, and Hilltoppers only up by 4. And they won that ball game in Los Alamos by 3. It was actually 48-45, and Hilltoppers were up 46-45. Pojoaque had a final shot. They missed. Harrison Frank got the rebound, came running down the floor with it, and as he crossed the midcourt, he just looked up and saw there was only a couple tenths of a second left. So he just threw the ball up in celebration, and the ball came down right through the net, nothing but net. It's unbelievable. I mean, he wasn't even trying to do anything like that. He just threw it up in the air because he was happy that they had won. And they should have given him a 3-pointer, but they gave him a 2. So the alternating possession now will go to Los Alamos to start things off here in quarter number 4. And Nico Garcia will bring it into Wesley Stanfield. Stanfield with Harrison Frank. They get it underneath to Mark Cleland. Cleland goes up. His shot is off. He's wide open. He's a big kid wide open under there, taking it to the hole. And just zinging it to the hole. Zach Hall, he's very, very aggressive, and he's going to be fouled. And that personal foul is going to go to Wesley Stanfield, and they're going to say that is his second. And that is the second team foul on Los Alamos. And Zach Hall at the free throw line. He cans the first one. And he'll shoot one more. He has 3 points in the ball game. Make it 4 as he puts the second one in. 2-point ball game, 40-38. Up the floor it comes. Now to Joshua Woodson, who is checked in. Gives it over to Nico Garcia. And Nico's going to put up the 3-point shot. That's off. Long rebound comes down to Pojoaque. They're on the run. They get it over now to Matt Gomez. Gomez will bring it across the timeline. In the corner to Zach Hall. Hall, once again, on the dribble. Looks like he should be a linebacker. And comes over to Lucas Archibek. Archibek is cut off nicely by Wesley Stanfield. Now back to Archibek. 3-point shot, and Pojoaque takes the lead. So Lucas Archibek with a 3, and Pojoaque now goes up by 1, 41-40. Harrison Frank has his pocket picked, and then the loose ball is picked up. It was knocked away. They almost picked the pocket cleanly. Then the ball got knocked away, and then Josh Woodson picks it up, and then he's immediately tied up by Matt Gomez. Alternating possession goes to Pojoaque. We have 6:50 to go here in the fourth quarter. Pojoaque leading by 1. Pass underneath, knocked out of bounds by Nico Garcia. So the Pojoaque, since that first half, now they've let's see, they've come up with 27 points, and the pass inside is almost picked off. They get it in the corner. 3-point shot. That was off. Long rebound comes down to Harrison Frank. Frank's going to bounce it up the floor to Josh Woodson. Woodson goes in. He goes down. Nothing called. And now we're going to have Harrison Frank called for a silly foul. I don't know what that was. I mean, that's his fourth personal, but they had a 2-on-1 break, and he got it over to Josh Woodson. Woodson went in. He got hit, got knocked down. I don't know whether that bothered Harrison or what, but he just went over and just kind of whacked into the young man from Pojoaque and picked up his fourth personal. So I don't know what that was all about. Yeah, I mean, it was clear over on the sideline, and the play was over. I mean, there was nothing. He was like he was mad about that Josh got knocked down or something. Shot taken by Pojoaque is off. Comes now to Nico Garcia. Garcia over in the corner. Now, the shot taken by Harrison Frank. That is off. And underneath, they get it to Frank. And he's wide open. A beautiful pass that time from Cameron Haig. And the Hilltoppers take back the lead 42-41. And we're going to have another timeout. And let's see what it's going to be. It's going to go to Los Alamos, a 30-second timeout. I think the Hilltoppers have 3 timeouts left. They don't show on the clock here what that is. But it was 40-36 at the end of the third quarter. 27-14 at the end of the half, and then 19, and then the Pojoaque came up with 19 points in that. I'm sorry, they came up with 22 points. 22 points in that third quarter to 13 for Los Alamos. And then right now, Hilltoppers are up 27-14, and right now they're up by 1. 42-41. And 6 minutes left here in this fourth quarter. Thank you, Dino. So, Lucas Archibek will bring it up for Pojoaque with under 6 minutes to go. Coming down the baseline, but cut off is Derrick Sanchez. Sanchez gets it underneath to Zach Hall. Hall puts it up. It's off, gets his own rebound. Goes back up again. This one's off. Finally, Los Alamos comes down with the rebound. Harrison Frank with it, playing with 4 personal fouls. Over in the corner, and out on top now to Wesley Stanfield. Wesley trying to pick up the loose ball. It was a low pass from Egg right at the toes of Wesley, tried to pick it up and loses it out of bounds. It was right on the sideline, and now Harrison Frank will check out. In the ballgame for Los Alamos, we have Wesley Stanfield, Nico Garcia, Cooper Frank, Elijah Ortiz, and Cameron Haig. Pass underneath, wide open is Lucas Archibek. Nobody picks him up. And so 43-42, Pojoaque now up by 1 on Los Alamos. Nico Garcia over to Elijah, 3-point shot. That's off by Elijah. Rebound is knocked out of the crowd by Nico Garcia. Good play by Nico. And now Nico gets it in the corner and puts in the 3. Boy, I mean, he has had one fantastic ball game, but that was a great save because there was all kinds of traffic in there and all kinds of bodies. And now from downtown, and I mean downtown, a shot taken by Lucas Archibek and almost going out of bounds, but a great save by Cameron Haig. Bring it back in. They get it to Elijah Ortiz, and then underneath it comes now to Cameron Haig, and he's going to be fouled as he goes to the hole. So a couple of great plays by Cameron. Saved that ball on the one hand, and then comes over on the other end. Heading to the basket with the left hand, gets fouled. That personal foul went to Zach Hall, his first, and at the free throw line, Cameron Haig, he will. That is the 4th team foul on Pojoaque, by the way. And Haig at the line drops in the first. So he'll shoot one more. And the Hilltoppers go back up by 3, 46-43 with 4.5 minutes to go here in this 4th quarter. And well, we're taking a long time here to shoot these free throws because everybody has to tuck in their jerseys at this point. And so Cameron back, and this one, I mean, it pinballed around on the top of that rim forever, and it finally pops out. I can't believe it came out. So Derrick Sanchez is going to go up, put the shot up. Rebound comes down to Wesley Stanfield. Stanfield has the ball. Well, let's see, I thought he had it knocked out of bounds, but they're going to say he lost it out of bounds. So So Harrison Frank will check back in for Los Alamos, and he'll replace Cameron Haig. And they bring it inside, bring it out on top to Sean Aragon as we have 4:10 to go here in this 4th quarter. Out on top and on the dribble, they bring it over to the right side, cutting. And inside, they get it now to Andrew Garcia. And Garcia puts it in for 2. That's only his 4th point of the ball game, but he's going to go to the free throw line. And don't tell me. Are you kidding me? Harrison Frank goes for the, I mean, I don't understand it. I mean, Andrew Garcia is a big, tall kid, and he had a wide open shot. There was nothing that anybody could do. Just let him shoot it. But anyway, there goes Harrison Frank. And boy, that's a big loss for Los Alamos. So, and Andrew Garcia at the free throw line misses the second shot. Nico Garcia with it. Going to bring it up to Elijah Ortiz. Hilltoppers have numbers. They're going to bring it up to Cooper Frank. Frank starts to go in, is tied up, gets away from it, and brings it out to Josh Woodson. Woodson across to Wesley Stanfield, and then out on top to Josh. They'll go to the right wing. Hand it to Cooper Frank. Frank in the corner to Wesley Stanfield coming down the baseline. He is cut off. Gets it underneath to Elijah. Elijah makes a great fake. Takes it to the hole. His shot is off, but right there, Nico Garcia to put it back in. A great play that time by Nico. And the Hilltoppers go back up by 3, 48-45. 3:20 to go. Comes to Andrew Garcia again. And his shot is blocked by Wesley Stanfield. And, boy, you know, Andrew Garcia, boy, he's even showing the official where he got me on the arm. And that was a beautiful, beautiful block. There was they called it a jump, but it was a fantastic stuff. So Wesley Stanfield brings it across for Los Alamos, gets the screen, loses the handle, and we're going to have a personal foul go to one of the Elks as he was trying to steal the ball back from Wesley. And he's tying his shoe right now. So let's see, that personal foul went to Diego Martinez. That is going to be his first. That is the 15th foul. Hilltoppers will inbound it at midcourt. Cooper Frank will bring it in for Los Alamos. A lot of trouble getting it in. Finally gets it into Nico. Nico goes behind his back still. Boy, some great ball handling by Nico. Nico underneath the Elijah Ortiz. Beautiful entry pass. Elijah misses the easy shot. Ball is knocked up the floor by Derrick Sanchez. Sanchez gets it up to the floor, and a shot taken by Toby Gallegos is off. Loose ball is picked up by Josh Woodson. Woodson gets it over to Cooper Frank. Frank goes in. He has his shot blocked, and then the ball is knocked out of bounds. So the Hilltoppers had a 3-on-2, but they weren't able to convert. And that should have been an easy basket for Los Alamos. 48-45 with 2:40 to go. The ball is knocked out of bounds under the Hilltopper basket. And it'll be Hilltopper ball. Inside they bring it now to Josh Woodson, out to Wesley Stanfield. Derrick Sanchez all over Wesley, and he's going to be called for the reach-in. So Sanchez picks up now his third personal, and that is the 16th foul. 4 have been called on Los Alamos. And the Hilltoppers will inbound it in the front court, just a little ways into the front court. Get it to Josh Woodson. Woodson now at the point for Los Alamos with 2.5 minutes to go. 3-point lead for Los Alamos. This is the exact score Los Alamos won the game by in Los Alamos, 48-45. Elijah Ortiz, who get it over. They bring it over now to Josh Woodson. Woodson out on top to Cooper Frank. Frank bounces it back to Woodson, and Woodson is going to go to the free throw line. We're going to have a reach-in foul, and this one's going to go to Lucas Archibek, and that'll be his second. That is the 17th foul, and that's going to put Josh Woodson on the free throw line, and he's going to shoot 1-and-1. And I'm telling you, this is a big 1-and-1. 48-45, and this one, I mean, another one that just rims around forever and then rolls back out. And coming down in a hurry and just going to plow through everybody. And what are they? They call it on Derrick Sanchez. Yeah. Okay, so he's called for the charge. I thought he should have been called for the charge, but I didn't see anybody animating all their big fancy move. Hilltopper's going to get it to Wesley Stanfield. A minute 52 to go. Wesley Stanfield, but let's see, called for palming the ball. Unbelievable. 3-point lead for Los Alamos. 1:51 to go. 48-45. The score Los Alamos won by in Los Alamos. Interesting. Minute 51 to go. Lucas Archibek just walking it up the floor, not in any hurry. Comes across the timeline. Hilltoppers in a 1-2-2 zone. In the corner it goes. 3-point shot. This one is good. And that. So Lucas Archibek ties it up at 48-48. Nico Garcia brings it across the timeline, gets away with the carry. Josh Woodson in the corner. Ball comes to Wesley Stanfield, loses the handle momentarily. Starts to go underneath, has the ball knocked away, does pick up the loose ball. Gets it to Elijah Ortiz, back to Josh. Josh Woodson going down the lane on the left side. And I think they're going to call him for the charge. So Josh is going to pick up the personal. And that is the 15th foul, but it's a player control foul, as they used to call it. Now it's a team control foul. Offensive foul, minute 11 to go. 48-48. This is the same situation we had in Los Alamos. Los Alamos was down by 1 with about a minute 20 to go, and had to foul Pojoaque, and they went up by 2. Yeah, and we're down to 1 minute. Pass underneath to Lucas Archibek. Misses an easy layup. Shot is missed. The rebound comes down to Sean Aragon. He goes up and he puts it in with a left hand. Sean Aragon drops it in for 2. Hilltoppers now down by 2, 50-48. This is the same situation we had in Los Alamos. Nico Garcia is going to get it over now to Cooper Frank, out to Elijah Ortiz, top of the key. Comes to Wesley Stanfield. And now Nico Garcia, three-point shot. That's up. Rebound, put back. That time by Wesley Stanfield is not good. And we have 24 seconds to go. And Pojoaque up by 2, 50-48. And now Wesley Stanfield deliberately fouls Derrick Sanchez. Yes, and so they only had 5 team fouls, so they have made 6. They're not going to put them on the line yet to shoot one. And so now Benito Martinez wants a full timeout. Yeah, and the Toppers didn't even realize that they had the fouls to give. They all walked over to the free throw line. So Los Alamos takes a full timeout. I think they have 2 left, and I think Pojoaque has 2 left. But right now the Hilltoppers at 48-45. They've been outscored by 5. It's now 50-48. They have 1 foul they have to give and to put them on the line. So they got to foul right now and put somebody on the line to shoot 1-and-1. And if they make 2, Hilltoppers are going to be in big trouble. So the Hilltoppers won the ball game in Los Alamos 48-45. Had a good lead in this ball game. Pojoaque came out on fire to start the second half. Hilltoppers just couldn't stop them. Finally, the Hilltoppers stopped the run after they cut the 13-point lead to 1. Hilltoppers got the lead back and kept the lead. Pojoaque took the lead back at 41-40, and then since then it's been kind of back and forth. But the Hilltoppers have to foul somebody, and foul, I mean, right now. And they're gonna, and that ball. So Pojoaque, unbelievable. Pojoaque, all he had to do was throw it into somebody and let Los Alamos foul him, and they try to baseball it down the floor against the press. And it goes out of bounds off of Pojoaque. Hilltoppers going to bring it up. They bring it now up to Wesley Stanfield in the corner. 3-point shot. I thought he was going to put up a 3. The ball up and in at 5 seconds to go. And Pojoaque trying to call a timeout. They do with 4.7. Cameron Haig right there under the basket as the Hilltoppers did a great job of moving that ball around and got it over in the corner. I thought they were going to take the shot, and they just fired it across the lane to Cameron Haig, and Haig puts it in for 2 for Los Alamos. And a fantastic reverse layup that time by Cameron Haig. So Haig, right now, the hero of the ball game for Los Alamos, but there's 4.7 seconds remaining here in this ball game, and Pojoaque has to bring the ball down from under the Hilltopper basket. So the Hilltoppers do not want to foul, and the Hilltoppers with 16 fouls, Pojoaque with 18 fouls. But if they did foul, it would be 1-and-1, and that could, all they would have to do is make that first shot. So right now, the Hilltoppers they haven't changed the score yet. It's still 50-50. Oh, that's right, isn't it? Okay, I thought we went up by 1. We're gonna go to overtime. Oh my God. Yeah, for some reason I thought it was a 1-point ball game, and then I looked up and why isn't it 51-50? And then Dino was telling me, they're right. so I got caught up in the moment, but 4.7 seconds, and so Hilltoppers want to move this into overtime. They don't want to foul, but they want to keep Pojoaque from bringing the ball down and getting a shot off. And so they're going to shoot from, they've got a 10-second violation against, what are they calling? Well, I don't understand that. And they're going to let Pojoaque, they're going to let Pojoaque throw it in from midcourt. But now it's down to 3.7 seconds. So they've taken a second off the clock, and they're going to start things over again. I don't understand. It's supposed to be 4.7, and they came down. Now they put it back. That's unfortunate because Pojoaque had no chance whatsoever to get a shot off. Now they're going to get another chance here. So Derrick Sanchez, and now they're going to shoot from half court. And just throw it at the basket, and we were going to overtime. 50-50 ball game. As the Hilltoppers, as Pojoaque had the ball, I mean, they had the 2-point lead, and they had the ball out of bounds. Hilltoppers were going to have to foul, and on a 1-and-1, and hope that Pojoaque, who was leading 50-48 at the time, and hoping Pojoaque would miss the first free throw, the 1-and-1, and they could have just easily thrown the ball in. They had the opportunity, and then so for some reason they decided to baseball it all the way down the floor under the basket, and Pojoaque's lost it out of bounds. And the Hilltoppers came down on the other end, and then a fantastic pass. I think that was Cooper Frank in the corner. And he just zinged it into Cameron Haig, and Haig with a reverse layup, put it in for 2. And so right now it's a 50-50 ball game as we go into the first 4-minute overtime. So 10 points for Los Alamos in that quarter and 14 for Pojoaque. And I don't know if they just go straight alternating possession here. I guess that's what they do. And the Hilltoppers, anyway, will inbound it. Playing without the services of Harrison Frank, who has fouled out in the ballgame right now. Nico Garcia, Wesley Stanfield, Cameron Haig, Elijah Ortiz, and Cooper Frank. Stanley at the point for Los Alamos, brings it over to Nico. Nico is going to pick up the dribble over into the corner. Now to Cooper Frank. No, wait, that's not Cooper. That's Cameron Haig. Let me correct that. Now it's going to come to Wesley. Wesley starts to go in, gets it out. Cameron Haig over on the right wing on the dribble. Still on the dribble. Bounces it to Nico. Nico goes in, puts it up. Tries to lay it up over the front of the rim, puts it up too hard over the front, hits the back of the iron, comes back out. 3-point shot, Derrick Sanchez. And he's a young man who caught fire in that third quarter. And he starts things off here in this overtime. So Derrick Sanchez with 3. And it's going to go in the corner to Wesley Stanfield. And then Elijah Ortiz gets it, and a 3-pointer by Elijah. So Elijah gets the ball at the top of the key. He's a good 3-point shooter, and he pops it in for 3. And so Elijah, that's only his second 3-pointer of the ball game, but comes at a very critical time, and it's all tied up again at 53 all with 2:59 remaining here in the overtime period. And so... yeah, that's how they started things off. But Derrick Sanchez, who came out of the locker room in the third quarter, and then he just came out and he canned the first 8 points of the quarter period. So he came out and he had a 2, then 2 threes, and then a 2, and before anybody else scored. But he's the one that started this run, and now he's the one that starts things off here in this fourth quarter, in this first overtime. Yeah, he did all by himself. He made, Dino reminding me, he made an 8-0 run against Los Alamos to start the second half. So Pojoaque will inbound it under the Hilltopper basket. No press being put on by Los Alamos as they're going to drop in and they're going to set up that a 2-2-1 zone. No, it's going to be a 1-3-1. So we have a 1-3-1 zone for Los Alamos. Bringing out now over to Sean Aragon. Aragon can't find anybody to get it to Derrick Sanchez. Sanchez once again with the ball. Brings it out on top to Lucas Archibek. Archibek now over to Sean Aragon. Aragon is wide open for a 3 if he wants it. They're going to get it now to Lucas Archibek. Inside it goes to Andrew Garcia, and he's... what are they going to call here? It should have been... okay, they're going to call Elijah as Andrew Garcia lowered his shoulder into him, and they're going to call Elijah for the foul. That's his third, and that is the 17th foul on Los Alamos. And so at the free throw line, shooting 2 right now, and that is Andrew Garcia, and he only has 4 points in the ball game, but he makes the first. That's 5. And the second one's going to be off. Rebound comes down to Elijah Ortiz. Outlets it to Nico Garcia. Garcia up the floor. Hilltoppers down by 1, 54-53. comes over on the right wing. On the dribble, Cooper Frank is going to dish it off over onto the left wing. Harrison Frank in the corner, or Wesley Stanfield in the corner. 15-footer by Wesley. Pops around and comes off, and he's fouled. And he's going to go to the free throw line. And let's see, that personal foul is going to be, and that's Derrick Sanchez, and that's his 5th. And he's their big gun. So he picks up the foul, and now Wesley Stanfield will go to the free throw line, and he's going to shoot 2. That is the 9th team foul on Pojoaque. And Wesley, who never misses. Of course. So puts it in, and we're tied. 2:16 remaining here in this first overtime. We're all tied up again at 54-54 as Wesley misses the first, puts in the second, shot up. Rebound comes off to Harrison Frank, bounces it up to Elijah Ortiz. A long pass down the floor comes to Cameron Haig. Haig has his shot blocked as he goes in. The loose ball picked up by Pojoaque. Pojoaque is going to get it now. I mean, it's just powering to the basket. That time was Andrew Garcia. And he goes down, and he's going to go to the free throw line. And let's see who's going to get that foul. That is going to be the 8th team foul on Los Alamos. And the personal foul will go to Cooper Frank, and that is Cooper's first personal. And Andrew Garcia misses the first. The first of 2. So Garcia at the line. Has 5 points in the ball game. He was just there moments ago. Made 1 for 2. Misses the first here. Makes the second one. So once again, he's 1 for 2. Makes it 55-54. Down the floor comes Cooper Frank. Frank's going to get to Wesley Stanfield. Stanfield bounces it over to Elijah, just to the left of the key. They'll go down to Nico Garcia. Garcia is going to have a little floater, and he's normally very good with that, but that's also off. Rebound comes down to Pojoaque with 1:25 to go. And now right down Broadway and just trying to draw the foul, and he does, is Sean Aragon. And that's all he wanted to do. He just lowered his shoulder and went right down the middle of the lane, just slammed it off the backboard. Didn't even come close to the rim. And that personal foul now will go to Sebi Wood. And that is Wood's first personal. And that is the 9th team foul. And Sean Aragon at the free throw line. And he drops in the first. And he puts in number 2. 57-54. Hilltoppers coming down the floor. They have and heading into the basket is Cooper Frank. And he's fouled. And he'll go to the line to shoot 2. And that personal foul is going to go to Andrew Garcia. And that's his 5th personal. That'd be his 6th personal, actually. Yeah, and so the situation, that's kind of interesting because he had just fouled out, and then he gets another one, and that's another personal. So he actually ended up with 6 fouls. Yeah, because he was, that's interesting because he was he had 4 personals at that time when they called it on him. I guess that's why he was upset, because that was his fifth personal. So we're going to have Cooper Frank, and he's going to shoot 2. I don't know if it was let's see, it was a tech. Cooper Frank is shooting. That should be, he should just be shooting a regular, and he puts in 1. Now Hilltoppers now should shoot 2 more, and so they'll send up Nico Garcia. So Cooper Frank is 1 for 2. And that cuts it to a 2-point ball game. And now Nico Garcia will shoot he'll shoot the 2-shot technical, and then the Hilltoppers will get the ball out of bounds. So if he makes this, the Hilltoppers will get the ball. It will be tied, and the Hilltoppers will have the ball, and Nico misses the second. Makes it 57-56, a 1-point ball game. But The Hilltoppers have the ball in with 1:16 to go. Inside it comes now to Wesley Stanfield. Stanfield on the dribble, blows by everybody. Going to put it up and in. Fantastic shot by Wesley Stanfield. He just blew by everybody, came down into the middle of the paint. He got cut off. He just went up in the air, and he practically put that ball over his shoulder. And now on the other end, Lucas Archibek answers back in a hurry with a three. And now it's a 2-point lead, a 3-point lead once again for Pojoaque. It's a 2-point ball game, 60-58. Let's see. Oh, okay. Oh, all right. Yeah, I got Major screened out that time, so Dino here keeping track of everything. Nico goes to the hole, and he's fouled, and he's going to go to the free throw line. It's a 60-60 ball game because he made that basket, and that personal foul went to Lucas Archibek. So Nico at the line, he can give Los Alamos a 1-point lead, and he does. 40.6 seconds remaining. 61-60. Hilltoppers up by 1. So the Hilltoppers come roaring back. But boy, that move that time by Andrew Garcia, not real smart because he picked up his 5th personal foul. And so that was going to put Cooper Frank on the free throw line for 2 shots. Pojoaque at that time was up by 3. And so and then the Hilltoppers, they're up by 3. And then the technical then gives Los Alamos 2 more. Nico Garcia goes to the free throw line. He makes one of the 2-shot technicals, and we get the Hilltoppers get the ball in bounds, and then taking to the hole, and then taking to the hole for Los Alamos on a beautiful, beautiful move to the basket that time was Wesley Stanfield. Hilltoppers, and then coming down the floor, and Lucas Archibek with a 3-pointer, and it gave Pojoaque back the lead. But then the Hilltoppers on the other end, Nico Garcia comes down, and he converts the old-fashioned 3-point play. 35 seconds to go. It's a 1-point ball game. And we should have had a traveling violation, but the shot inside is blocked. Comes to Wesley Stanfield. It gets to Nico Garcia. 25 seconds to go. Nico across the timeline. And they're going to have to foul. They're grabbing him, and they finally do foul him. Well, they only had to grab him twice to get the foul, but Nico will go to the free throw line. He can put Los Alamos up by 3. 20 seconds to go. 20.3 here in Pojoaque. The Hilltoppers in overtime. 61-60, and at the free throw line, Nico Garcia. Nico, the freshman, and nothing but net and ice water in his veins, and Nico makes it a 2-point ball game, 62-60. Nico can give Los Alamos a 1-point lead. 3-point lead. Thank you, Dino. And he does. 63-60. 20 seconds to go. Lucas Archibek coming down. Picks up his dribble. And in the corner, they throw it away. They throw it away. They were trying to get it to Zach Hall in the corner so he could shoot the 3, and they throw it out of bounds. So the Hilltoppers with 12 seconds to go will inbound it against the press. They will inbound it under the Pojoaque basket. Nico Garcia will inbound it. Brings it into to Harrison Frank. Frank is pushed. I'm Wesley Stanfield. He's pushed. No call. Nico Garcia up the floor. They foul Nico. But they actually shoved off on Wesley Stanfield right under the Pojoaque basket. They didn't call it. So they got it down the floor to Nico. That actually ran off some time off the clock. Nico, 1 shot here, can win this ball game. And he goes to the line to shoot 2, and he puts in the first, and the Hilltoppers go up 64-60. 66.7 seconds left. And Nico Garcia, the freshman, and the hero of the ball game, I can guarantee you, he has played one fantastic ball game here tonight. And so a timeout taken now, and by Los Alamos, a full timeout. 6.7 seconds remain. 64-60. The Hilltoppers up by 4. It'll be inbounded by Pojoaque under the Hilltopper basket. So the Hilltoppers have to just let them come down the floor. No foul. Oh, that's right. Nico shooting 1 more. Dino just reminded me. Nice to have Dino sitting next to me. Unfortunately, and what really bums me out is the fact that Dino, he came down here to do the commentary for me, which he always does a fantastic job. And then for some reason, and I don't know why, we can't get him going over the air. So everything's working fine here. All systems here are go, but Dino's voice is not leaving this gymnasium. So here we go. And Nico Garcia can give Los Alamos a 5-point lead in the overtime. 6.7 seconds remaining. Nobody on the line for Los Alamos. Nico ready, the freshman. And nothing but net, no problem for the freshman for Los Alamos, and they take a 5-point lead. 65-60. 3-point shot at the buzzer. This is going to roll around and come off. Rebound comes down to Sebi Wood, and the Hilltoppers do it. Unbelievable. 65-60 on a great comeback by Los Alamos. So a game that I thought for a while was all over. But once again, the Hilltoppers come from behind. They did the same thing in Los Alamos. They were down by 3 in the very, very late going, and they were able to come back and win that ball game by 2. Or actually won it by 3. They actually won it by 1. They won it by 1, and then Harrison Franks just flip up into the air and celebration goes into the basket. But anyway, so another great ball game here. And this one, a good one here this evening on Friday night, 65-60. So the Hilltoppers keep their playoff hopes alive. They're tied with second place right now with Taos. And now here comes Nico Arbenito. Oh, wait. Yeah, so, Yeah, we're gonna have to talk into the same microphone because this was not working. But anyway, so Benito, fantastic job, you guys. I mean, another burner here for Los Alamos. You know, twice now against Pojoaque, you've let them come back and take the lead, and you guys fight right back.
Yeah, you know what? Pojoaque played really well. We played good in the first half, and then in the second half, we let them into the game. You know what? But we're just fortunate to get the W, and you know what? The kids never stop fighting.
Wow, what a game by that freshman Nico Garcia. I mean, he came to play, didn't he?
Yeah, you know what? He's shown it all year at practice. I have 100% confidence in him, as well as all the other coaches. He really stepped it up, and you know what? It was a great team win.
Well, for a freshman to go into a pressure-packed situation like that and to go to the free throw line, and he had those 4 free throws at the end. He was 3 out of 4, and he should have made the other one.
Right, you know, that other one went in and out. But, you know, in practice, he shoots probably about 95 to 98%. That's come. I selected him to go shoot that technical. But you know what? You know, it was a hard-fought win. We ended the season strong with the W. But you know what? I'm just happy that we were able to have a season this year.
Well, you just had some great contributions from everybody, and Cameron Haig, boy, that last shot of his that tied the score. That was something else.
Yeah, you know what? That was a big shot. I was contemplating on calling a timeout, and then usually I just let him play out. I'm glad that I just let him play out. That was a clutch shot, clutch pass. I don't remember who passed it, but Cameron came up big and got us into OT.
I think it was Cooper Frank.
Right.
Made it from the corner, and but it was a beautiful pass across the lane, and Cameron got it and went up in traffic and a reverse layup and put it in.
Yeah, you know what? It's the one thing is I'm proud of the kids. We didn't stop fighting all year. We started. I think against Hope is when we really didn't ever gave up. We're down by 16 against them, and that gave them the confidence to continue fighting. And you know what? It was a great win.
You won every close game.
Yeah.
That says a lot.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah. The close games. Every time you guys got into a close game, I mean, you know, you guys kept your poise and came away with a victory. And so now a couple of things. You're tied with Taos for second place.
Right.
So now on Sunday they're going to have the seeding.
Saturday night.
Oh, Saturday night.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Saturday's the selection.
Okay. So we have to see how you guys how it all shakes out.
Yeah, I'm really hopeful that we get in, but just by the criteria and only 8 teams getting in. You know what? Any of those 8 teams that get in can win it. But my feeling, any any teams in max preps that are in the top 10 can win it. Unfortunately, there's going to be some great teams left out of the state tournament this year. But the biggest thing is that we were able to play the game of basketball and we got the kids out. They were able to have fun, play the game that they love. We did it safely, and you know what? We'll we're happy about this win, but we'll rest up and then we'll get back to hitting the summer program.
Yeah, so it's well, it was so great that we had the season. We didn't even know if we were going to have a season, and then to have the season, the kids played well. They had a couple of games on the road that they just couldn't seem to get up to the caliber, but overall, you guys had a great season.
Yeah, thank you. You know, we ended the season 8-4. Great winning season for us in Los Alamos, but we're going to come back stronger next year, and I just want to thank all of the Los Alamos community for following us, Eugene and your son following us, and we'll be back next year. Thank you.
Yeah, you got a great core coming back next year. Oh, and one more thing. Congratulations to your junior varsity for winning the district championship.
Yeah, you know what? All my coaching staff, they did a great job. The kids did a great job. They didn't stop fighting. They worked hard at practice since last June, and it showed tonight. I mean, at a JV district championship, and that's huge. That's a big stepping stone for us, and we're only gonna get better.
Well, congratulations, Benito, and thanks for coming and talk to us. So anyway, so Benito Garcia. So that's going to do it. Hilltoppers win this ball game 65-60 in overtime. Great ball game, and a fun ball game to broadcast. And I just wish Dino could have been with me all the way. I don't know what happened. We keep trying to. Well, we're not that we're trying to fine tune the system and then end up over tuning or over tweaking, but it's just that there are just some adjustments that we have to make, that we have no choice, and we still don't know what happened here tonight because everything else was working fine on our end. So final score 65-60. The Hilltoppers win this ball game, and they go to 8-4 on the season and 5-3 in district. And we'll see what happens tomorrow when they do the seeding. We'll be back on the air tomorrow afternoon at 1 o'clock to bring you the Hilltopper girls against the Pojoaque Elkettes. That is a home game in the Griffith Gymnasium, and it's an afternoon game, Saturday afternoon. And for the varsity, the nominal starting time is 1 o'clock. So this is Gene Mortensen and so Carol Clark of the Daily Post and Matt Limback and John McHale. And for Dean, my good buddy Dean, sorry, Dean, he just couldn't get him on tonight. And this is Gene Mortensen. I want to thank you for listening. Have a great weekend. You can make an even better weekend. All you got to do is put a little love in your heart. Don't forget to hug that penguin. But the most important thing you can always do is just be excellent to each other. And so, night-night. Bye-bye, everybody. And night-night, my sweetie pie, my Gail, I love you. And I miss you so very, very much. And now, goodbye, everybody.